Happy weekend there, Lego Maniacs. What's happening? It is, what is it, Sunday, right? What do we have here? Well, you know what we got here. We got the Rancor Pit. 75005. Now, I've kept this thing in a bin nice and clean for quite some time. The box, I just keep in a cubby in pretty good shape. I didn't flatten it or anything. Yeah, it's wonderful, right? I've owned this thing since it was out. Bought it when it was current, back in whatever year that was. I don't remember, right? But boy, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? And then if you may recall, 3 years ago now, astonishingly, I went to the Boise Comicon, chasing comics. And I don't really collect many comics anymore. I've got the full run of Star Trek The Next Generation, about 83 issues. I've been chasing Tomb Raider, Top Cow Original Series 0 through 50. Made a little dent in that today, but not much. But 3 years ago, I walked into the big con, and right as I walked in, there was somebody with the old fishing store. And I'll never forget it. They wanted $500, and I went back out to the better half and said, hey, what could I really pay for this thing? And she said, well, offer him $400 because I just don't feel like you can do more than that. And I offered him $400, and they said, yep, it's yours. And I thought, what a miracle. I went to the Comicon and walked away with a kind of a Grail set for me, right? Well, guess what I found today? Down at the Boise Comicon, I should say my son actually found this. I was rifling through some comics looking for Tomb Raider. I told my son, hey, while you're walking around, look for Lego. So we casually walked over to this fellow's little booth there, and he had actually a shelf with some pretty cool sets on it. I think it's UCS TIE Fighter, the UCS Boba Fett Slave One, and then what was there? Oh, I'm sure you guessed it. Kabam! Look at that beauty. Yep, 9516 Jabba's Palace. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? I saw this thing sitting on the shelf. I went, what? Why? It was like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 sets there or something. I couldn't even concentrate on the other sets because I kept looking at this one. And then I thought, well, you know, it's going to be opened and the box is probably creased up somewhere, missing pieces. I couldn't believe it. Pulled it off the shelf and went, what? This is sealed. And the feller selling there says, yep, that's mine. Owned it since it came out. And just kept it. Just kept it safe. Unbelievable. I've looked for this thing through the years. It's not like it's impossible to find. You can sure get it. But the key is the price. I think I paid fair price for this thing at the con. He had it marked at $500, just like the old fishing store, but then he had that crossed out, and it said $375. So, yep, my hand shot out, and I said, I'll take it. And we got it. Look at that beautiful thing. And now I can put the Rancor Pit under there. And this solves a lot of different concerns, because I bought, Boba Fett's Palace, of course, you know, thinking I could modify it. And I was just never happy going past thinking about doing that, because this is meant for it, in my opinion. And look at this box. It's got a crease here, but it's almost in such good shape that it's a shame and disgrace to open it. But thankfully, with that crease, it's got a couple creases really on the front. This baby's got to be opened. Look at this thing. But that box is shiny and just beautiful. What a score. So now it seems like I was trying to work my way out of comics and out of the Comicons, because if you know about Comicons and you've been going, you know what happens to them. They start out as a small little building with some comics and some toys and merch. And then the next year they've got people coming for signatures and cosplay. Then they've got movie announcements. And before you know it, you've got 3 or 4 buildings or floors of different fiasco nonsense going on. Impossible to park, impossible to get in. You can't find anything. People running into you while you're looking for stuff. And it becomes bedlam. But this is, I think, at least for me, I think it's just the 5th year or so of the Boise Comicon, 5th or 6th. Don't quote me on that. But yep, it's growing just like you'd expect. This year, 3 different buildings, really, or at least areas of stuff. I will admit, this is the first time that they've had so many comic vendors, and they put them in one big area where there was plenty of room. And of course, maybe the sad thing about the Comicon is that there was hardly no one in there. It was easy to look at comics. You didn't have to worry about anybody running into you. You could set your backpack down, not worry about that. They had a whole nother room with merch and artists. So like people, there was a vendor selling swords and axes and all that stuff. Prints, artwork, originals, as well as just all kinds of other odd merch. Where I was, there were a few vendors that had comics and then a mix of stuff like this. In fact, at this booth, my son bought a couple of Star Wars figures, like Kenner things, right? But what a deal. I mean, I've even seen this locally, and the price has been at least $375, and that was used and dusty and maybe not complete, maybe complete, hard to say. Then you don't know what kind of shape the minifigures and stuff are in. Are they cracked, right? Whatever. Unbelievable. What a grab at the Boise Comicon. A dream set for me. I know it's not that shocking and astounding, but come on. This thing is just amazing. I don't know why I didn't buy it when it was out. Of course, this is the guy who scoffed at Ewoks Village because I'm not a fan of Ewoks. Now I get it. I want, I had the Ewoks Village. It was great to have, and I stared at it, and I sold it off. And I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to become some kind of completionist Star Wars collector. It's just that the Rancor pit, for whatever reason, holds a special place in my heart. And now I've got a place to put it along here with Jabba's palace. How awesome is that? Oh, fantastic. So, hope y'all had as good a weekend. I will do another video when I open this thing. Oh boy. But it's got to be opened, right? That's what it's for. I got my Rancor pit open. So, time to open this one. Don't have any Mos Eisley Cantina. Don't have any pod racing stuff, really. Maybe I'll collect that stuff as time goes by here. But anyway, that's it. Big haul from Boise Comicon. Dream set for me. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Hope you all had a great weekend. Please tell your friends, like and subscribe. It's Life's a Brick. We'll catch you on the next one.